Good morning, Abotai. The last few days we've been speaking about the Halacha of stopping to eat at Shki'ah. And we said that if a person was in the middle of a bread meal, a person does not have to stop eating at Shki'ah. He can continue. Not only that, even if he didn't start eating by Shki'ah and he wants to do Netilah, as long as it's before Tzedek Chavim, which is about 15 minutes later, he can start and have a bread meal and continue way after Tzedek Chavim. Now, anything else besides for a bread meal, if a person was sitting and eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, other snacks, a person has to stop by Shki'ah. If a person was eating before, you got to stop at Shki'ah at sunset, that's it. And certainly you're not allowed to start from sunset and on. The question becomes that the poskim discuss, what about if a person was sitting and eating mizonot? Let's say a person's eating mizonot, cakes, cookies, pastries, pretzels, any mizonot item, any pataba b'kisanim. The halacha is, so how do we consider that? Is that like a bread meal that you don't have to stop? Is it like at Shki'ah? Is it like other fruits and vegetables and snacks that you do have to stop? What's the halacha? The Aruch HaShulchan, as well as many other poskim, Gavriel, the Yalkut Yosef, they say that bread is not considered kavua. Bread is not considered a meal of a settled character, and therefore, just like any other food, you would have to stop eating at Shki'ah. And not bread, mizonot, thank you. Mizonot, pataba v'kisnin. Mizonot is like any other non-set character food. So the halacha is you have to stop at Shki'ah. That's with regards to those poskim. Now, Maran Zichron Bracha disagrees with that. He says, no, in Chazon Ovadia Shabbat, Maran Zichron Bracha says, he brings re'ayot from other poskim, and he says that mezonot is considered being eaten in the honor of Shabbat, in the honor of Seudah Shlishit, and a person is able to be Yotzei Dechovah, according to some poskim, and therefore the halacha says, Maran Zichron Bracha, is that you are allowed to continue eating mezonot after Shki'ah until Tzedek Chavim. Once Tzedek Chavim comes, then you have to stop. But after Shki'ah, you're allowed to continue. So now, let's break it down. L'halacha ma'aseh, different foods and different beverages when it comes time for Shki'ah. With regards to bread, if a person's having a bread meal, certainly if you started before Shki'ah, but even if you started after Shki'ah, before Tzedek Chavim, which is about 15 minutes later, you are allowed to continue a bread meal for as long as you want. Anything that you eat or drink inside this meal is mutar until Birkat HaMazon. Anything that is not bread, for instance, fruits, vegetables, nuts, any beverages besides for water, like we spoke about in yesterday, the halacha is that you must stop at Shki'ah. If you're eating that before, you cannot eat it 1 minute after sunset, and certainly you're not allowed to begin eating those things or drinking those things past sunset. For mizonot items, la halacha ma'aseh dat Maran Zichron Bracha is that if you haven't eaten before, or if you were eating before, you're allowed to eat past Shki'ah for about 15 minutes or so. Once Tzedek Chavim hits, then you'd have to stop with the mizonot as well, even if you're eating it as your Seudah Shlishit. Yom Tov.